Hi friends, welcome to the Yoga Still. My name is Chrissy. I am a yoga teacher, I am a Reiki healer, and I'm hoping this becomes your home for all things woo curious. This week I am taking you on a tour of my favorite decks. Decks I use to read for myself, decks I use to read after a Reiki session or during the Reiki Moon Circle. And today's deck is the Vessel deck. This came from Etsy. It's by Mary Elizabeth Evans. This deck, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit intense. The box is just the cutest. Like, I feel like there should be chocolates in here. The guidebook gives just a little more information on each of the cards. So it doesn't give you a big read, but it gives a little more insight. I have flipped through this a few times with the cards just to get a little more of a feel for some of the cards that are a little that give me a little bit of a pause. So depending on what our read is today, you may see me go back to the guidebook. And here we go. The back has an eye and a cloud with all of the triangles. I'm gonna go ahead. I thought I had sorted them beforehand, but obviously, oh, it was just the one that was upside down. So I did. So let's do the tour. Connect. Grieve. I feel like I draw this card for me and for others a lot, especially during the pandemic. And I feel like it's this reminder that it's okay to be sad. It's okay to miss things in our lives. Forgive. What I love about this card is a light of forgiveness. It's like it's coming from above and shining onto me. That the light of forgiveness is something that we receive, and it's also something that we give. So it comes to us and it goes out, it flows out of us. Light, defeat, release, spirit. I love here the third eye, connected to the intuition, connected to the physical with the hand, and then the feathers and the star representing the divine. I love this connection of all of that working together. Childhood. I draw this card a lot, and I have a crystal that reminds me very much of that one. Self-doubt. Healing. Freedom. Make. To me, this always looks like a Christmas tree. How all of the different ornaments work together to make something beautiful. I see this as all of the pieces of ourselves working together to make something beautiful. Change. Love. Fear. Truth. Move on. I see this definitely as a charge, like move right along, that this isn't for you anymore. Trust. Support. Endurance. It's hard to hold all of the things up. Structure. There's something about this card that makes me uncomfortable. I need to spend some time with it. Power. When I see this power card, it's a reminder that that power not checked can be really chaotic. and that the way that this card reminds me to connect with and to be fully present in my power is to harness it and control it and send it in the directions that I want it to go. Anxiety. We have the chains. And the keys are just out of reach, but we could grab them. We could work together. Boundaries. Rest. Communication. Romance. Fire. So for the last few months, when something is really good, the word that I've caught myself using to describe that is fire. And this card made me smile really big. Begin. Choice. Self-care. Movements. Birth. I feel like several of the decks that I've shown so far have a birth card. I almost like we should gather all of those together and notice how they feel different. It gets better. The heart's bandaged up. And abundance. All right, let's shuffle and do a read. So I believe that cards serve as a reminder that we can shift our perception, that there are other ways to look at what we are experiencing other than the lens that we see ourselves and our situation through, that we're conditioned to see things through our own lens, and that the cards provide for us. Oh, that was a good shuffle. And that the cards provide alternate reflections of the reality that is. As I shuffle, I believe that whatever is dealt for us today, it will show up for you at the time, that you have something to glean from it. And that if you watch this video now and a year from now, there will still be something valid in this reading for you. I believe that whatever cards come out, there's room for reflection for each of us. And maybe, just maybe, an epiphany for one of us. What a reading. So the way that I work with cards when I do a 3-card reading is the first card is who we are today, what we're bringing to our current experience. The second card is what is crossing our path. And the third card is guidance. The third card gives us the information, the perspective that we need to acknowledge, to deal with, to function within both who we are and what is crossing our path. Now, because I am giving you a tour, we will go ahead and check in with the guidebook for each of these cards. I'll give you my little intuitive take, and then we'll check in with the guidebook. So who we are today, this is the middle of August 2020. This is pandemic stuff for me. This is how we are functioning with kids, if we have them, with our families, with the restrictions that we're respecting personally, culturally. We're holding up a lot of things that we're hoping we will have access to again. A lot of hope we're enduring here, our intuition. We're enduring hope that travel, that joy, that other people, that these experiences will once again be ours. So we'll check the guidebook and see what the guidebook has to say about endurance. You are stronger than you think, and you will keep getting stronger. Honestly, that makes me a little prickly. I don't want to get any stronger. I'm fine. I'm good enough. I've learned enough. Give me my hugs back, right? But this endurance, who we are, is we're in the middle of this right now. We're in the middle of holding things up. What's crossing our path is fear. As we continue to be in the unknown, as we continue to not have all of the answers, as we continue to struggle with the answers that are being given to us that we may not agree with or understand, as so many things that have become just everyday, just commonplace in our lives, as so many of those things are being questioned and being challenged, there's fear that comes around that. Not judging ourselves for that experience of fear, being present with that experience of fear, not judging ourselves, not being overpowered, just letting fear be. Knowing that fear won't crush you, knowing that fear is not all powerful, but that fear, it is what it is. And in 2020, it can get loud if we let it. Strangely enough, fear was on the facing page of endurance. We can't be brave all the time. It's okay to be afraid. How can we feel safe right now? Take care of yourself. So the honesty of our present is endurance. What continues to come at us is fear. But our guidance to handle, to cope, to be present with these two, with both of these without collapse, is freedom. Acknowledging the freedoms that you do have and recognizing that you are making choices. For these things that feel like they're being forced upon you, you're still making a choice. Whether or not you wear a mask is making a choice. Whether or not you go to a crowded concert or not is making a choice. You use the information that you have and you exert your freedom. So these places that we're feeling controlled, for the most part, are still decisions we are making based on our values, based on our knowledge, and based on our resources. So even though sometimes we feel trapped, even though sometimes I feel trapped, I have the choice in every situation. It just so happens that a lot of my choices feel restrictive right now, but I have the freedom to make those, and so do you. So to review who we are today, we're enduring. We're holding all of these things up, hoping that they're in our future. What's crossing our path is continued instability and fear. And our guidance for coping with both our endurance and our fear is to remember the freedom that we hold, to acknowledge the places that we feel like we're restricted, but acknowledging that we're making the choice based on our values to lean into and choose those restrictions. Friends, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I hope there's something within this reading that resonated with you. If you felt or heard or read something else from these cards, I would love to see that in the comments. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.